to AA's Circle. No, that's not what our thing is. We are AA's Corner, and we are the Circle Hub that reviews The Circle Season 2, Episode 13. It's the finale! I was waiting for one about to say final countdown.
That didn't even go in my mind to do that.
No.
Wow. Okay, so my name is Ashley, and I will tell you that I feel like I have earned my Beyonce hair flip from this season. So let's introduce the panelists that's going to be with us this evening, and I'd like to start from the bottom. And tonight, that is Miss Kayla. Good morning, afternoon, evening.
All of those. It's all of those, Ashley. It is a Monday. It's Kayla from Texas. How are you guys?
Woo! I need a clapper thingy.
Go Texas!
And then the cast favorite, Miss April. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, I am April, and my mind is boggled.
It's boggled in this episode? You didn't find clarity?
That's just something somebody said that I thought was cute, and since you stole my original.
That is not your original. That's not what you told me your hashtag was.
Number 1, Beyonce flip.
I had another one. Okay, here, let's change this. So, my name is AA, aka Ashley, and I just don't understand how bloody clever you all are. There you go. That'll be mine. So, let's reintroduce the cast favorite, April. Thank you for joining us.
I'm April, and it tastes like victory and money.
$100,000 to be exact.
Yeah.
How did I start over and you didn't even use the one I started over for you to use?
I was just wondering if Michaela was still going to be from Texas, but you skipped her.
I might have been from I don't know.
Who knows?
Now we'll never know.
Well, see, she was doing cities all along, and then she popped off with a state, and then now this state.
Well, I just like to think that I'm from Texas, no matter where I go in Texas.
There you go.
For those of you who may know, I'm from D-Town, Texas.
Texas born, Texas raised. That's it. That's the way to be.
I will have to say, I met my husband in Louisiana, and he's from Louisiana, and I had my son in Louisiana, and I like to think that I brought them home to where we live in Funky Town for a reason. And we were sitting and we were watching some barbecue shows, and my husband had the audacity to say, I guess if you've had one barbecue, you've had them all.
No.
The hell is he talking about?
And that right there is a reminder he's not from Texas.
Huh? What'd you say?
And that's a reminder he's not from Texas.
Yes. And he was like, I bet. And I was like, no, you are not Texan yet. And he's like, well, that's good. And I'm like, no, it's not. Anyway.
More years.
That sounds like we need to go do some barbecue challenges and rate them on our podcast.
And we were watching some videos like that. They were going around trying them and tasting them and everything. Yeah, I think that is something this girl can do because that's my favorite food. You're talking my language. It's barbecue.
I think that would be so cool if we did a podcast just focused on that, and then we did like a different dish each time, and then like we all brought what we thought was the best, and then just tasted them on the podcast.
Or we actually go and we record ourselves there trying it.
As long as we eat it, I'm fine.
Okay. All right. So, well, let's get this episode started. We're 5 minutes in. Today was the last day on the season.
That's how I felt too.
He knows I cannot stand to hear people chew their food. So he was standing right here chewing on purpose. Okay.
Just scratch your head. It'll be fine.
And they get an alert. And they get a wake-up message from Michelle that they are a finalist. And right now, they still don't even know who went home. But they know they're a finalist.
Michelle's walk. I just adored that. It was like, I'm ready. Boom.
And it made me think, okay, that looks like the same hallway that everybody else walked down. And all the hallways cannot be painted and looking like that. Could they?
I mean, they could.
Bright blue?
In reality, they probably rented a hotel, 2 hallways in a hotel.
Yeah.
Well, they went, because you could see the rooms, remember, going up the levels from the outside?
Yeah.
So all those hallways going up and down?
Well, we only saw, like, in the finale where Michelle was at, I think we only saw one part of the room. It could have been, like, that they were all walking down the same hallway to get to where the finale was.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Makes sense. So they're all soaking in, and River was just so giddy. Every time we see him, he's just smiling and shaking and getting real excited. But they have a gift at the door. Finalist balloons, and they have breakfast and drinks. And that was the breakfast of champions.
You know what it reminded me of? That scene in Pretty Woman where he didn't know what she liked, so he ordered everything.
Yes.
There was pancakes and everything. That's what that reminded me of.
And then she grabbed what, like a pancake, and ate like half a pancake, and all that food is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michaela, have you seen Pretty Woman?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I haven't sat down and like watched the entire movie. No.
What?
Yeah. Look, so when I first got with my husband, with Joey, he made it a point that like he would make me watch certain movies, like Goodfellas was the first one he made me watch, and a bunch of other ones, because when I was younger, I grew up like in the sticks, and so it was really like we didn't even have TV really half the time. We were just outside playing, so I missed out on a lot of really good movies.
I think my child learned how to work a VCR before she learned how to do anything else. Huh?
I said before she was even born.
Go rewind that and push play.
And I knew how to work one of those machines that you take it out and you put it in and it rewound it really fast.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool.
There was a real thing that did that. But when I was 5, I probably wore out my Beauty and the Beast VHS and the Pretty Woman VHS. Those were my 2 favorite movies to watch. So
now, looking back, was I an okay mother for letting her watch Pretty Woman at 5 and 6 years old? You know,
meh.
But now I can quote the entire movie basically, and I know we're going off on a tangent here, but I had won a work trip where we were going to go to Santa Barbara. Oh, I should have worn my hair up like that. How do you do that? Anyways, I won a work trip where I was going to get to go to Santa Barbara, and I was going to treat my mom because I could take one person with me, and I was going to treat my mom to come with me. Then COVID happened. But we had it planned out that we were going to arrive in Santa Barbara, rent a car, and drive to Los Angeles so we can look at some of these places from that movie.
That sounds like
it's part of our plan.
Good trip. Yeah, you should definitely remake that trip up.
That's an expensive trip, though. When I would rather really just to go to Mexico and get on a beach with a drink in my hand. Like
in a hammock.
Huh?
In a hammock with my drink.
That's all I need.
a nap.
anyways. Sounds like we need a movie night. Okay. So, I'm moving on unless you guys have anything else to want to, talk about as far as their getting their breakfast.
Nope.
No? Okay, cool. So while they're getting their breakfast, they get their newsfeed update. So someone's going home. And Trevor says, if it's Mitchell up there, our plan is done. Like, we're out of it. So Mitchell pops up. And he's real. He is a real person. And I believe at this point, River's being super secretive about being the super secret influencer. Was that what it was called? Super secret?
Yeah.
And so, River says something, Courtney comes back and says something, and Chloe's like, okay, guys, like, no one's even mentioning that Mitchell just left, so it must have been one of you two that sent him out. So at least we know the girl can think. She really can. So, did y'all get anything out of this newsfeed update?
The only thing I wrote is, he's still calling, the Joker is still in the house, and
Yeah.
That, and I liked how the circle tried to have it remain anonymous up until the very last point. So even when they announced who updated the newsfeed, it was like the circle, sent a message, and then boom.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, in regards to the chats, it just played into the characters that people were portraying.
Yeah. And so then they're told that they're going to do their final ratings. And then later today, we are meeting in person in the penthouse. Okay. So if you were going to do your final ratings for yourself, what would your ratings have been?
Me first, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sure.
mine would have been Trevor, Mitchell, Chloe, River, Courtney. Oh, well, Mitchell was out of there, but yeah, that same.
What about you?
Well, I did rate them. Chloe was number 1, River 2, Trevor 3, John 4, Courtney 5.
And I did Trevor, Courtney, Chloe, River, John. So that was mine. So then everybody gets dressed up. Okay. And I thought some of these people were looking fly. Like, I thought Chloe's dress was real cute, especially because she thought she was going to meet the love of her life. So she was looking real cute. I really liked Delisa's dress when she was first putting it on. And then all the gentlemen, they looked fine. Right? Everybody looked snazzy.
Yeah, Courtney looked
My two takeaways of their dressing was Chloe was really, she's a pretty girl,
mm-hmm.
but just that lipstick, there was something, I don't know, it was, her face is too wide or it was too orange, something. And then Lisa's legs, they have never showed her legs. She has some muscular legs.
Oh, that's right. She's always worn sweatpants or pajama pants.
Yeah.
The 2 weeks that they were on the show.
Right. But I thought that was, I'd like to, because you know how short she was compared to Jack, and even when they were standing, she was really short, so you didn't really see, but she has some muscular legs. So that was the 2 takeaways I took.
So then they start to go meet up, and Chloe's first and comes into this beautiful room. There's a beautiful table set and everything was kind of, it looked like they were going to have like a good dinner in there. Like it was pretty. And she's nervous because she's going to get to meet Trevor. And the next thing you know, she gets an alert that says Trevor is on his way to meet you. Hey, friend. And then in walks Trevor. And it's AKA Delisa. So do you think Chloe was heartbroken?
I think she was disappointed.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. I think at first, but I think she got over it pretty quickly. And I recognized how good of a game that Delisa played. Like instantly. She didn't go into like just being negative, and I like how she went into that positive mindset with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do think though that in all this time, 2 weeks, that Delisa had to prepare to introduce herself to Chloe, knowing that Chloe really thought that she was Trevor. I thought she could have done a better job of it, to be honest, because she kind of just like was laughing and was like, "Yeah, that's my husband." But I mean, they're just, I don't know. I think I would have said it differently.
I agree.
I don't know.
Chloe handled it very nice, though. Like, very nice.
Yes.
I wrote down that she wasn't acting like she was heartbroken or disappointed, but you would have to be.
Yeah.
So
then they get an alert that Courtney is on his way to join them. And then Courtney walks in and is super surprised about Trevor when she introduces herself. Meets Chloe. Anything stand out here for you guys?
No.
And then they get an alert that River is showing up. So River's up next, and Courtney is just so excited to meet River and was so shocked when he walked in.
I think they all were.
Yes, I think they all were too. And then, last but not least, John walks in, and it is Lisa and Jack. So everybody was just so shocked. Everybody sitting down at the table, asking themselves some questions. Was there anything that kind of came up in their conversations that stuck you guys?
No. No. It was no.
So I know River at this point owns up to being the super secret influencer, right?
And Courtney owns up to be the Joker.
And Courtney does. And then
really like they acted a little bit surprised by it, but there wasn't really like a whole lot of conversation just on that. Like they just kind of moved through it.
Well, so Chloe did ask, why did you say all those mean things about me? Right? Yeah. And so he did get to explain, right? This is some of that clarity. But I wasn't saying it for me. I was acting like I was Emily saying it. I was trying to get people to think I was Emily. And I think that all makes sense.
Sounds like somebody on the podcast said that might be what they said. I don't remember who said that though. If it was you or Skylar. Didn't you call that?
I think we did. But I mean, that was his truth, right? Like, I think that's something we talked about, that she can't really, because what we were talking about is, were they going to rate them after they met them or before they met them? Because if you rated after you met them, you could use some of those biases and some of those ill feelings, right, to adjust your ratings.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I think he just needed to explain that away. And he did. There was some talk about how Mitchell was super hot, and Chloe quickly said, I'm dibsing on Mitchell. So she called dibs. Nobody else could have him. And then she was just telling everybody, she's like, I just don't understand how bloody clever you all are. I could not have pulled off a catfish. She's like, I just couldn't do it. And she was even explaining how She even said some of those words that I know April has used about her being naive and if you told me this is what you were, I thought this is what you were. That kind of gameplay. So, they are now being told to come join Michelle in the
I
pen.
just say that it was a nice setting for dinner, but they didn't eat.
I know, that's what I was saying.
After seeing that big breakfast, I really expected like this extravagant food on the table for them, but it was not.
And if he wasn't going to eat, why are you going to set him around a dining room table like that?
It's set for you to have food on it. At least, like, I don't know, just put placemats and flowers. I don't know. You don't need plates, like charger plates and salad plates on there.
That was crazy to me.
So, while they're all working their way to come join Michelle, we get to see our past cast members. So we saw Bryant and Savannah and Tara Alicia and Kat and Mitchell. And one of the things, I know Skylar couldn't join us tonight, but one of the things that Skylar was telling me about was how much he loved how Michelle continued to crack jokes on everybody. But the sad thing is we don't think that they know the kind of joke she was cracking, because like she kept saying, "Oh, you bought a shirt. You needed this money to buy some more shirts," and he's like, "Yeah, I got a shirt on. Okay," but he doesn't realize that all season, 2 weeks, she's saying, here he is with no shirt on again. You know what I mean? So it's just funny to us to hear, but they're like, okay. So she gets into Savannah leaving too early and Tara Alicia leaving too early. And either I'm just over their stuff because we've talked about it so much, but just still the pettiness between them was a little crazy to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't, and I don't know which one is doing it, or they both are, if you can't know that when you're reading a message, it's just a message. You're not getting people's feelings. You're not getting their thoughts. You're not getting the way they're saying it. It's just a message, and you don't know these people. Who cares?
Yeah, and I think Savannah even mentioned that, and Tara Alicia I think Tara Alicia went more towards like on the defense still. Like the game's already over. Like the decisions were made. We know what part you both played, and you know the people who left that week, or the person who left that week. So just move on, just get over it. Be a grown up.
Yeah.
However, I did write down, not all truths are truths. Some truths are a lie. Because of how Savannah said, well, my truth is my truth and your truth is your truth. She's like, okay, well, not all truths are truths. Some truths are a lie, right? So I did write that down because that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Also, I feel like I just have to say, well, not yet. So then we introduce everybody. So River comes in first, aka Lee. And, you know, the past cast is there, and then Courtney comes out, and then Chloe comes out, and then Trevor comes out, and then John comes out, and everybody's so shocked. They're saying hello, and I love how Courtney ran like straight to Savannah, kind of like bypassed Tara Alicia, went straight to Savannah. But I think, and I don't know about you guys, I feel like this finale episode was just a little underwhelming. And maybe it's because, and I think this is something Skylar also said, maybe it's because we've known who was catfishes and who wasn't all season, which this whole thing is basically them finding it out, and it's just not entertaining when we've already known who it is, right? So that's just my feelings on it. It was very underwhelming. So one thing I did want to bring up is what's her name? Lisa told everybody that they would get to meet Lance. And let me tell you something. Another video message is not meeting him. That's not the same thing. Because he pulled another video message talking about, I've lost my dry cleaning stuff and my remote's broken. We need you to come back to fix it after 2 weeks. Right? Like, anyways, that's my thoughts on that.
I agree.
would have to agree. Yeah.
I think it would have been just so awesome if he would have just walked in.
Yes. And she was like, all right, Lance. And she's like, no, I'm kidding. We're joking. Here's your message.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any other thoughts on that? Or are you ready to find out who won the game?
Who won the game?
Yeah, before we do that, can we just talk about how long in between names, like for the ratings, that they took? I feel like it was like, bottom place, and then forever, and then, next, and then forever. It was just too much.
It was for the dramatic effect, Michaela.
It was underwhelming.
Hashtag underwhelming.
So, coming in 5th place was John. Y'all think that was a big surprise?
No.
All right, so who had John? That was
Not
April. No, Kayla didn't have anybody left. Coming in 4th place. Oh, I forgot. Who was in 4th? Was it River?
River.
Yep. All right, so Mom and Michaela are out of the running. 3rd place was Courtney. So that was on my team. And so it's 2nd and 1st place between Chloe and Trevor, the seasoned couple. And coming in 1st place with a win was Trevor. So Trevor wins. And as promised, there was a trophy. So I will keep this trophy for this season. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I like to thank all the little people that I had to step on to get here. No, I'm just kidding. That came from a movie.
Okay.
What movie is that?
With the help of her assailant, the wheel.
What?
The wheel.
Oh, yeah.
You and the wheel were in cahoots.
We're going to do a better job next time of making sure it's on the camera. Okay. So, Trevor wins. Everybody's so happy. They let her call her husband and her daughter and give them the good news. And then everybody's like, oh, is that him? And so she shows everybody and everybody's good. And then 2 seconds later, everybody's back to having their own conversations. Nobody cares. And that's it.
And Chloe was hitting up Mitchell.
That's what I was going to say. The whole time, I was just looking in the background like, of course, it's Chloe and Mitchell.
So, we have points on the board. So, let's see. I wagered 9 points and I went with Trevor. So, I ended with 18 points. April chose Chloe, ended with 4 points. Michaela, you wagered all 5 of yours. Or River, she ended up with 0. And then Skylar ended up with 18 points. So we tied. So we'll share kudos moving on for the next year until we play again. But that was your winners for your points. It's so sad. My board is so empty. It hasn't been this empty in a month and a half.
Did
Okay.
we figure out what we're reviewing next?
Hold on, let's finish this episode by saying what we thought of the show, the season, not just the episode, the whole shebang.
The whole shebang bang. Okay. Would you like to go first?
And it has to be in hashtag form.
Okay, would you like to go first?
Hashtag disappointing.
Okay, you go, Michaela.
Hashtag underwhelming. Did I take yours?
No. I'm trying to figure out how to say mine in a hashtag. So you saw my brain was working? My brain was working. Hashtag that other reality show that does it way better should be the next show we do. Hashtag Netflix producers for The Circle needs to watch the other reality shows and take some pointers.
I just think I don't even know if it's a good idea. I was going to say it might be a good idea, but they just didn't execute it well. But like you said, Ashley, if the audience already knows who the catfish people are, and okay, that's one. Two, you're not giving us enough time to get invested in these people, even though it's 13 episodes. I don't think there was enough content. I wasn't invested in anybody.
Or for the contestants to get super invested, because that would have been the difference. Even if we would have known who the catfishes were and weren't, the drama that would have happened with them meeting these people would have been, I mean, they don't care. They were only on the show for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
But if they were on the show for 2 months, there's going to be a little bit more drama when it comes time. And a finale with 5 people, that's way too many people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Narrowed it down to at least 3.
3. And then they could have spent the first 20 minutes of this episode just reminiscing about things that had happened and they've overcome. Again, that's something that the other reality show that I watch does. And it just kind of builds you back up of, oh yeah, right? And then, anyways, I just think they could have.
I wonder if, my idea was, don't let them vote ahead of time. Let them meet, let them ask each other questions, let them, and then you think, that was a good game player. I'm going to vote for them.
That's very similar to that other reality show that I watch.
That's the one I watch. The one that, they're on the private island, or they're on an island. But anyway, but here you're just voting.
You don't get a chance to ask questions and to understand, well, why'd you make this move? Where was the strategicness in this?
I think it would have been like if they would have spent more time as well on the people who had already been, blocked from the show. Like most shows do, like the finale, and then they have the reunion separate. So that way they could spend more time on, each thing going through. That might have also helped as well. And, instead of combining everything into one episode.
Yeah.
But again, I think the biggest problem is that I don't think these people were there longer than 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Definitely should have been there longer.
Like, nobody cared. Like, even Bryant was like, I'm just so happy to see River, Chloe, and Courtney still all together as a group. It was a week ago. It's fine.
Yeah. Right. You've only been gone for, a week or so.
I really think it's the timing that made it. Because I personally, I enjoyed a lot of the episodes, especially when people started making moves and you can see the moves. I enjoyed those episodes, but these last few ones where things were just kind of like, I don't know.
I think my favorite was episode 4. I think that's where I saw, or maybe 5, where Chloe was actually strategically thinking and stuff. But it just went downhill. I mean, it was 1 or 2 episodes and then boop.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But then again, maybe that's why it's on Netflix. It's meant to be watched, boom, 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 and not 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
So what are we doing next?
I have no idea. So I know April suggested that we all just have a conversation, once a week. Everybody come to the table with some news story that they heard that they want to talk about. So that's one thing we could be doing.
A good one would have been what we were talking about, Ashley, was the Miss USA lady, committing suicide, jumping off of a building. Who does that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, and then there's Big Brother.
That's that other reality show that I watch.
Really?
Now that I can say it, because we're done with the circle. Yes, Big Brother does it so much better. They really do. And you get so invested in these people. And there's mental challenges, there's physical challenges, there's social challenges. Like, it's just way better.
And it's not predictable. You don't know, like, every time, like, when you start the episode, you have no idea how the episode's actually going to go.
Yes. And it doesn't matter if you are so you can be just a show watcher, and then there's people who actually watch the live feeds, so they actually know what's going on before it shows on the show. And so there's different kinds of people, so you get different kind of perspectives. Anyway, so that's always one of my favorites. What else is what other shows like that are on? Is it Amazing Race has already started?
It's already started. It's like episode 5 or whatever.
I really like the idea of the food critic too.
Yeah. We could do the food critic and the just talk about it too at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing bad about the food critic is that's going out to eat and spending money.
Well, eventually, if we do this well, we can write it off as a business meal.
Hashtag.
We got to get there first. Hashtag what?
Join our hub.
Yes. Hashtag join our hub so we can give you more content.
We could do the murder mystery game.
Oh, yeah.
We could definitely do that one.
We can do games as period. Like we can show a game, play a game, and talk about the game. Record little bits and pieces of the game to show people.
Yeah.
I really think that karaoke game could actually be really fun if people would actually do the karaoke.
I didn't know any of the people.
You don't have to know the people. The song.
How am I going to sing the song?
Mama, the songs is on the screen, and there's just a tune, and you just hear it. That's it.
You don't know how it goes. Anyway.
Yeah.
Same way.
Now that we're done bickering about that.
We're done?
Bickering about that.
We're done? Okay, we're done. Mom said we're done.
Okay, subscribe, like, comment. Tell us what you want to see, what you want us to bicker about.
And we'll do it.
Yeah, but please say food. Something with food, guys.
Send us some restaurants you want us to go try, but it has to be around the Fort Worth, Texas area.
Drivable distance.
Right.
Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you for all that you do. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, breathe in and breathe out.
Yeah.